Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the BYOB Weekend Show. We back
We back. Happy Sunday.
and in living color.
Yes. I like our colors actually.
I think,
We didn't
I
even
think,
plan this.
I think color makes everything brighter.
It
Color
does.
makes everything happy. Good
Yes.
morning, D. Morris, and thank you for joining us.
Morning, D.
Well, good morning, everybody. We are here today. You know what? Yesterday we talked about some very dynamic topics on missing your money.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to talk about that again today because the missing money webinar was rescheduled from last night to tonight. So you need to go and register um, and join us tonight, which is Sunday night, for the Missing Money webinar. And the link for that is bit.ly/missingmoney21. And as we always say, share the broadcast because sharing is caring. And someone else may be looking for just this thing that you are watching right now. I'm Rose Fauntleroy. Good morning. Passing it off to my beautiful co-host.
Good morning. I am Latalia Palmer. Welcome and happy Sunday. And as Rose said, we're going to be talking about where we're missing our money. And one of the things, Rose, that came up for me, as we are in Women's History Month, is how much women are underpaid. And all of the trailblazers and those whose shoulders we stand upon have fought for us to be able to get equal pay. And when I think about the skill set, the mindset, the emotional set that's needed to get us where we need to be in regard to equal pay, what comes to mind for me is one, knowing how to negotiate. And being able to negotiate also requires you to understand your value, your worth, and what you bring to the table. And oftentimes, because we don't understand that, we're not able to articulate it and help someone else to see in tangible form where we make a difference and why we deserve to get paid more. What do you think about that?
I think you're absolutely right, because women only make, I think it's 62 cents on a dollar for every man that makes a dollar. And that is grossly underpaid. And you talk about showing up, standing on the shoulders of those that came before us in this Women's History Month.
Yeah.
One thing that they did, irregardless of that, is they showed up. And sometimes showing up is the biggest part of moving forward.
Wow.
Is showing up. I think about Madam C.J. Walker.
Yes.
Okay. Look at the times that they were in. Of course, they didn't think that time, they knew it was a hard time.
Yeah.
They didn't think that it was necessarily the worst of times.
Yeah.
Because with every generation, things change. And things hopefully get better. And now we're in this generation and we have more comforts, more opportunities, more technology, more of everything.
Good
But
point.
even with those advancements, comparing back then to now, you still have to show up.
Yes.
You still have to show up. You still have to take action. You still have to move your feet.
Yes.
Because if you don't show up, nothing happens. If you show up and mess up, something happens.
Yes.
In your imperfection, something happens. But if you sit still, no decision.
Ooh, I love that.
So what you think about that?
I think you just kind of hit a nerve, Rose. That's what I think. So I love it. Like, no action. You're missing money if you're not acting. I mean, And you won't even know what you're missing out on
because you're not showing up.
because you're not showing up.
And no tea, no shade. But if you say that you're going to do something, or if you
Yeah.
commit to something, and you say this is what you want, and
Yes.
they give it to you just like you asked for it, because
Mm.
sometimes you have to be careful what you ask for,
Mm.
because what you ask for, you may get.
Yeah.
But then if you don't show up,
Yeah.
if you don't honor your commitment,
Yeah.
what happens?
Yeah.
Nothing happens.
Nothing.
So you stay stuck in that position.
We were on Clubhouse, I want to say last Sunday with Coach Dawn and Monique.
Mhm, mhm.
And I can't remember who Coach was talking to, but she said something that really stuck with me. She said, when you ask for more, when you ask for expanded territory, you have to find a way to bring yourself to a point where you can meet God where your blessing is. And I'm paraphrasing, but you have to allow yourself to open up, show up, get bigger so that you can receive the very thing that you've asked for.
Absolutely. And it pushes you forward.
Yes. And
What,
it makes you bigger. You have to have a bigger presence. You have to expand from within in order to receive what you ask for.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And once you're expanded,
Hmm.
it's really hard to go back to that contracted place. It's
Right.
hard to go back to that small place where you come from. Now, you never despise small beginnings,
That's
because
right.
they are what? They are your beginnings,
That's right.
and they keep you humble. But
Hmm.
once you start to expand, it's hard to go back. It's hard to unsee what you've seen
Mm.
and to unexperience what you've experienced.
Yeah, yeah. And talking about missing money and not showing up and not getting bigger, our money can't get bigger. Our money can't grow if we don't grow. And oftentimes we're looking externally on how we're missing money, but we're also missing money because we're not allowing ourselves to receive it. We're deflecting.
Ooh.
Yeah, we're deflecting it,
Ooh.
and so it's not coming, it's not flowing the way that it has or needs to flow to us. And so when we think about growth, that professional growth, that personal growth, I believe is key to plugging in those money leaks.
It absolutely is. And you make a good point. Those money leaks are part of that's your missing money. That's where you're
Mhm.
leaving money on the table, on the floor, in your pockets, in somebody
Mhm.
else's
And
pocket.
somebody else.
Because the mantra should be, who has my money today?
Ooh.
Who has my money today? How can I go and get my money today?
Can we make a sticker, a magnet,
I
something? Who
know.
has my money? A T-shirt.
Who has my money today?
Who has my
Well,
money
if you
today?
want to know how to find your money,
Mm,
join us tonight,
mm.
8 p.m. Central, by going to bit.ly/missing money 21. Now, you do have to register in order to get the link for the free webinar tonight. Doesn't cost you anything, cost you time.
Mm.
But with what you learn with that time can expand you.
That's right.
It can expand you. It can show you where your money is, who has your money, what has your money,
Mm,
and how you can get it. Because if
mm,
you go back, we're talking history.
mm.
If you go back, we know that our ancestors did great things
Yeah,
with very little, with what we consider today very little.
yeah.
They didn't consider it very little back then, but what they did do is they had community,
Mm.
and they stuck together as a community to create.
Yes. The
They pooled,
village was everything.
the village was everything. They pooled their resources. One made it, then the other one went back to help the next one and the next one. And that's part and parcel
Yeah.
of the community of the village. And that's what we still have. And that has not gone out of style.
Mm. That's
You know,
right.
a lot of things go out of style, or they call them old fashioned or
Yeah,
old
yeah,
fogies, or
yeah.
whatever.
Right.
But that the village and the community will never go out of style.
Will never.
We just have to we
Absolutely.
just have to get with the right community, with the right council, and
Yeah.
work it accordingly. What you
And
think?
talking about community, I had a consult with CJ, and she showed me how I was missing money in my business structure, in my
Mhm,
taxes, how personnel or employees were lined up. And
mhm.
so she, in 15 minutes, she
Wow.
opened my eyes to so many different options that I had to bring more money back into my business just off of doing taxes
See
the
that?
right way.
See, there's different places where you're missing money and you don't even know
Yes,
it because you don't know what you don't know.
exactly.
So when you sign up for the webinar tonight, that'll be one of the things probably that will be discussed, because it's not just that you have a hole in your pocket and
Mm,
your money is just slipping through for no reason. There are reasons for that, and then there are different entities
mhm.
that can show you how to get your missing money or how to retain your missing money.
Yeah, yeah. And and thinking about the taxes, she also talked to us, or talked to me about grants. And I say us because I know we've had this communal conversation, but she also talked about
Mm,
grants and business loans that have very small interest rates that can be paid back over a lifetime, and then ways to get forgiveness. You know,
absolutely.
and so I'm just like, if this is what you're walking around with, you could give all of this to me in 15 minutes.
Absolutely.
What would I stand to gain if I sat for an hour?
Absolutely. And you made a good point, communal conversations.
Yeah.
Communal conversations, when you're in a community and your community is diverse with
Mhm.
women that do all different types of things, you find out that you may be missing on more than one angle, because a lot of people will say, oh, well, I don't want to take out a loan
Right.
because that means I'll have to pay it back. Well, yeah, it means you have a responsibility. But if you're running a business,
Mhm.
you have a responsibility anyway. And why not have a responsibility, an obligation
Right.
that's
Right.
going to benefit you? We take on a lot of obligations and responsibilities that don't benefit us. So it's time to start weighing out these
Mm.
obligations and looking at what benefits your business, what benefits your clients, and
Yeah.
what doesn't. And
Yeah.
what doesn't, that's where you drop those things and you move. But it's a growth cycle. It's a growth
I
cycle.
like
And
that.
in 15 minutes, CJ grew
Yeah.
your mind, your expansion. She
Mhm.
expanded you into things that you did not know about.
Yeah. Yeah. And the importance, one of the important things about that is I walked out of 2020 coming into 2021 affirming that I was going to have more money conversations, because
Mhm.
money is something I don't believe we as a whole talk about enough. And it's not coming from a place of greed and money rules all, but the understanding of how important your relationship with money is,
Absolutely.
and how you can use money to positively impact your life and the life of your loved ones, and in the lives of others that you don't know. And so the more money conversations we have, and the more that we educate ourselves, and the more that we educate each other, it will allow us to come to a different place in society, where we're not always sitting in a space of asking for a handout, of feeling like resources are scarce to us. We have to learn about money so that we can build ourselves, our families, and our communities up.
Absolutely. And I think the one thing that stops that, because you say affirming conversation, that means positive conversation. There's a
Yes.
lot that we may not have been taught and that
Yes.
we are afraid of.
Mm-hmm.
because we've been taught to be afraid of certain things around money. And we see other communities moving forward, thriving, and then we wonder why we are not.
Yeah.
Well, we can't be afraid to take out a loan. We can't be afraid to get our paperwork in order. We can't be afraid,
Mm-hmm.
to have a responsibility or an obligation that has to do with money. And
Yeah.
that's just what you're saying. Those conversations around money. It's
Mm-hmm.
not that money is the be in end all and it's the everything, but it's almost up there with air, because if you don't have any air, you can't breathe. But if you don't have any money, you can't create any opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about just keeping it, spending it on trivial things. Money
Right.
is energy, and if you don't keep it moving,
Yeah.
you can't
Yeah.
create. Money allows you to create.
Yeah.
Money allows you to help.
Yeah.
Money allows you to be able to move things forward. It's an
Mm-hmm.
energy. It's constantly moving. If
Mm-hmm.
you use it for the right person, for the right person
Purpose.
and the right purpose,
Yeah.
then it's an affirmation. It's an affirming, as you said, it's an
Absolutely.
affirming thing, not a negative thing.
Absolutely. I
Good morning,
wholeheartedly
Berlin.
agree.
Thank you for joining us.
Hey, good morning, Miss Berlin. Yeah, and so with the shunning and the taboo, and things that we bring from our past about money, that contributes to us missing out on money, us missing out on money opportunities, the opportunity to spread, to share the wealth. I mean, and again, I don't know how to stress it enough. It's important to educate yourself and to be in the room for opportunities like the Missing Money webinar that's going on tonight at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time.
That's right. Every
Central
time.
Standard Time, right? And make the investment, take the action, and go to bit.ly/missing money 21. It takes about 2 minutes, to register, and then to get on tonight. It only take you an hour, to sit and learn something that is going to feed you and feed your future.
Absolutely. And see, that's another thing. Don't be afraid or apprehensive. I'm not going to use afraid. I'm going to say apprehensive of learning something new and being afraid that what you learn you can't implement.
Mm,
Because what you learn new should be pushing you forward to dig into it a little deeper,
yeah,
to do the research. Because with every new thing you learn, it's a new step.
yeah,
It's a new step. It's a new step toward your future wealth. It's a new step toward your legacy for your family. It's a new step toward a legacy for the community.
mm,
For the community.
yeah.
We're talking about our missing money and the missing money webinar that's coming up tonight. Yes, it was supposed to be last night. It got rescheduled to tonight, and we want you all to join us. To
Mm.
join us. Don't let your money keep leaving you behind. Your money is moving forward, but you left behind. You don't want your money to leave you behind. Good morning, Vicky. Good
Hey, good
morning.
morning, Vicky.
Good morning,
Good morning,
Shaneja.
Shanetra. And so, Rose, I know that we're going to wrap up soon, but the other thing I wanted to just see what your thoughts about this is, our gifts and our talents, and in those unexplored gifts and talents that we have. We know that we have it, but we don't explore them, and we don't try to see how we can use them to serve others, and allowing that to be a way to make additional money.
Absolutely.
You
See,
know,
that's another way you might be missing money.
yeah, you're missing out on exploring the wealth that dwells within you,
Hmm. And
that
we
wealth
talked
of
about that yesterday.
knowledge. Hmm.
we
Did
talked about that
we talked
yesterday.
about that
We talked
yesterday?
about that yesterday.
So that
Charging
must have
his
stuck
worth.
with
And,
me then.
yeah, we're supplementing. We talked about that yesterday and how you're always giving away things for free. People and they continue to
Yes,
come
we
to you.
sure did. We
Yeah, we
sure
did.
did.
Yes, we did. Um, but the biggest one out of all of them is showing up.
Okay.
Showing up. And
Mhm.
tonight we want you all to show up at the Missing Money webinar. Go to bit.ly/missingmoney21. You see it on your screen. And we ask that you always share the broadcast.
Yes, bring a friend and
Share,
some
share,
popcorn and some tea.
and one of your haters too. Bring them
That's
along. Be
right.
nice. It's Sunday. Bring them along to be nice to somebody today. Share the kindness.
I
In
love
sharing
it.
the kindness, you are sharing the wealth. Because
Mm,
wealth is not just about the money.
mm,
When you share this opportunity about the Missing Money webinar, you may not be sharing, sending, just giving them dollars in their hand, but you're giving them knowledge,
mm.
which may be worth a world of
Yes.
wealth.
Yes.
Because someone may be looking for this. You could be someone's answered prayer. Vicky says she's going to be there. She says she's ready to find her missing money.
That's
Me
right,
too,
Sister
Vicky.
Vicky.
Me too. So yesterday we talked about charging your worth. Today we are talking about the missing money. We've talked about showing up
Mhm.
because we stand on the shoulders of our ancestors who showed up,
Who showed up?
and they showed up in times that were way different than where we are now. We have technology. We have many modes of communication. Even in the pandemic, we've had
Mhm.
to fall back on the technology,
Yeah.
you know, and they didn't have any of this. And they showed up and were successful. And we stand on those shoulders. And we'd be doing our ancestors a disservice by not showing up. Um,
Absolutely.
we also talked a little bit about um, equal pay or unequal pay
Unequal
because we're
pay.
still fighting for equal pay. You know, it doesn't make sense that in 2021, this is a conversation that
Mm.
has been going on since the 50s and 60s, and it's still going on. And in this Women's History Month, we have to look back at history so that as we go forward, we don't continue to repeat the same history
Mhm.
and get caught. It's like being caught in a wheel, like on a hamster wheel. We don't want to keep repeating what
Mm.
went on 30, 40, 50 years ago.
The definition of crazy is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result.
Absolutely, that's insanity. So it's time to put some new practices, some new strategies,
Yes.
into place. And coming to the Missing Money webinar tonight is one of those practices that will give you opportunities to put in place. Join us tonight, Sunday night, 8 p.m. Central, for the Missing Money webinar by going to bit.ly/missingmoney21. Latalia, anything you want to close us out with?
Just to say, it stressed the importance of showing up. Show up for your greater, show up to allow yourself to expand, show up so that the people who are watching and modeling after you can reap the benefits. Show up so that you can stand up for your divine birthright.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
With that, everybody, we hope to see you tonight because we're going to be there and we're going to have bells on and we're going to be
I have
looking.
my tambourine. Ching, ching, ching.
There you go. And I'm gonna be scanning the room. I'm gonna be looking for you all because I like to meet and greet and all that good stuff. So
Yes, you
we're
do.
we're gonna be looking for you on Facebook, on Periscope, on YouTube, on Zoom. We're gonna be looking for you.
Yes.
So come on out tonight, 8 p.m. Central, for the Missing Money webinar. And you do need to register. It is at no charge, no cost, by going to bit.ly/missing money 21. You all have the best Sunday ever. See you
Happy
tonight.
Sunday.
See you tonight.